Hey nerds! Support Venture Forth over on our Patreon and unlock exclusive bonus content. Now on to the show.
Hi, I'm Flynn.
Oma.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had escaped a harrowing battle with the Order of the Red Wolf. After foiling their dastardly plan to open a portal to the Plane of Fire, you all were able to be resurrected and finish the fight and close the portal yourselves, capturing 2 of their agents in the process and sending them back to Hayfried's Void. Now, in tow, you all have 5 civilians with you who were also captured by the Red Wolf, the Order of the Red Wolf, and are now traveling with them back to Nestle Valley, where you hope to get them back to safety. Just this morning, you all had sent Shreya off after news of Kaylin, who is one of Flynn's associates, now in Keed, as she might have some more information on someone who is possibly hunting members of the Ironlight Collective. With this news, you all decided that Shreya would be the fastest one to be able to get there, collect the information, and return to you. So he set off over the Bartok Rise and out of your eyeline. And now leaves you all here in the cold morning air with the Dakir ruins just down the hill and the Bartok Rise just above you. The new day dawns. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna find myself a quiet corner, and I'm going to, I'm gonna sit beneath the biggest tree I can find. We're sort of on this hillside, right?
Yes, you are. Yeah, covered in trees.
I'm gonna sit within the embrace of any large roots I can, and I'm going to close my eyes tightly and then open them, and in the casting of sending, look for the tether that will lead me to Xavier.
Okay, and easy enough, you're able to find it.
I will reach out, grab that tether, curl it around my hand, and pull it to my heart, and cast sending. Achungis. Xavier. It's Kellic. We need a favor. Can you travel yourself to Saddlemount and open Hayfried's portal there? It's to help a friend.
And very soon you hear back, "Good to hear from you. I can head over there today. Should be open in the next few hours. Hope all is well. Send Oma my love."
Unable to respond, I'll have a little smile to myself.
I would have liked to hopefully woken up when Zorkal had woken up.
He actually took the last watch, so he was up hours before you.
I would like to try and mimic his morning routine, but not make it, or like take notes of what he does.
He actually, he woke all of you up. This morning, he seemed like he was ready to go before you guys had even woke.
Dang. Okay. I will just wake up then.
Okay.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. We had said goodbye to Shreya, and I'm just gonna sit around and kind of unpack and repack my bag.
Okay.
I'll return around the corner and look at this company. How many? We have 4 civilians with us?
There are 5.
5.
5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 dwarves?
They're all dwarves.
They're all dwarves.
Yes.
5, okay. I'll kind of stand presentationally. Probably time we hit the road then. Is everyone able to move on their own, or the folks need assistance?
And you look to these couple of dwarves, and they all look to be standing on their own at this point. They sort of give you some nods that they're all ready to go. And one of them steps forward. The dwarf who seemed to be the husband of the dwarf who was previously slain steps forward and says, I think we're ready to go.
We were planning on heading back towards Nestle Valley. Is there anybody who has to go another direction?
You see the same dwarf look around, and I think all of us are from the same place. I think we're all good to go there.
Oh, okay. I turn to Zorkal. Well, I guess this is where we part. You're on your way back to Addersfeld?
I was planning on going back to Addersfeld, yes. But in the company that you all presently hold, and the fact that you just lost one of your members, I am more than willing to provide extra security, at least heading south for a little bit before I have to split off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Never mind then. I guess we can go.
Are we gonna, how are we gonna keep everyone together? Are we getting again, what? I'll look around. Is there, any, form of transportation that was left here that these Red Wolf people used?
Make a perception check for me.
Because I figured some of them are, hurt. I'm not even gonna look at my stats because it's so low. 2 plus, I think it's a few numbers. I don't know.
Looking around and looking back down at the ruins, you didn't see anything.
Does anyone look like they can't walk?
No, they all look like they're capable of walking. Yeah.
I don't know, Flynn. I think we're just gonna have to walk.
Okay, that's fine with me. Do we need to do anything else before we head out?
If anyone needs any help, please alert us. We're only strong as our most vulnerable. So, we'll take care of you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Let's head out.
All right.
Yeah. To Nestle Valley.
Yeah.
And then through the tunnels of Westbury? And then... who knows? I guess.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Does anyone sometimes feel like there's so much to do that you don't know what to do next?
All the time.
How do you decide?
Well, usually, I'm chasing you lot. To whatever the next thing that's on fire is.
Oh.
So I don't...
I can set something on fire if we should do that and then go towards it.
It's merely a figure of speech.
Oh. But we are often running towards something on fire.
Well...
Do you see how it could be a little confusing, the figure of speech?
I just close my eyes and rub my temples in frustration. Yes, I suppose that could be considered confusing. Regardless, I don't know, the void is open before us. We have so many adversaries, and they're all out in the wind now. But we do have two.
Oh, they're not all out in the wind, yeah!
Right.
Okay, so we should go towards Marstock.
It's a place to start.
Yeah, and get some answers.
We have to expose some kind of vulnerability. Within this order of the Red Wolf, we have to find a weak spot.
Yeah, and maybe we can check on Kale. I wonder what's gonna... We're walking, as I'm saying this.
I assume so.
We're walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder what's gonna happen to the one who you used to report to, the big lady, and
Artemisia.
And the other one from the Hollow Guard. I wonder what's gonna happen to them if they miss Kale again. I mean, Corvin Amberstone said that they were gonna be in big trouble if he slipped past them again.
They didn't send Artemisia. They sent the two from the Hollow Guard.
Right. And they're gonna be in big trouble. I think they did say Artemisia was gonna be in trouble too.
Varys and who was the other one?
But Amberstone said that she was gonna be in trouble too because they all report to her. So they're in for some big trouble because of us.
What does trouble look like for failure in the Order of the Red Wolf?
Well, I mean, for failing to capture one person, one human at that, repeatedly over and over again, I don't know.
Well, I mean, are they overflowing with capable members? Because Artemisia is about as powerful a being as I've ever known. So it's not like he's going to dispose of her.
Should we check on Kale?
I can. Flynn, do you still have that key, that device you pulled from the stone?
Yeah, I have it in my bag. Why?
I think it's worth studying or bringing that to Hayfried to discuss, because that's, for lack of a better word, a key to this whole problem.
Well, also, didn't Hayfried work for the Red Wolf? I can't remember.
But he wasn't very high up. He just said that he's worked with a lot of bad people, and at one point he did some work for them.
Was he supposed to be doing research or checking on stuff? Maybe he has information that we could ask him. Since last time we talked to him about it. Also, I'm kind of confused. Like, there's the Red Wolf and the Hollow Guard, and then there's Vasronath. How are they all connected again?
Also, there's the Banuk tribe now. That seems to have aligned themselves with these.
So many names.
And the Shraya Puryana. What was that?
Yeah.
Some other name that we've also never heard of before.
And then it's something to do with the waste. And then the history book I have. Okay, so Hollow Guard was first, right? That's and I'll look to Oma. That's who we dealt with, kind of.
So I guess we can start from there. When I worked for the Hollow Guard, we were set after this man who ended up being Kale's dad because he made keys. And so the Hollow Guard was looking for keys. Now, it kind of seems like the Hollow Guard was looking for keys for the Red Wolf. So there was some mixture there of people working for each other. Clearly, like, the uppers of the Hollow Guard do work for the Red Wolf, and I didn't know that at the time, obviously. And Kellic, you came from somewhere that also apparently works for the Red Wolf.
Well, it would appear, despite my great displeasure admitting it, and I sort of reflect on the sky above, that Artemisia is truly, faithfully aligned with the Red Wolf. But that doesn't mean all of the Temple of Famir is done so.
So unclear?
I was cast out for exposing her or trying to. But they didn't know better.
It seems a little fishy to me.
So if I get this right, it seems like the Hollow Guard was working for the Red Wolf. Like, the Red Wolf is the bigger, badder people.
It seems that way. It seems like the Red Wolf is just like has all these arms, and they extend into all these other organizations to do their thing, like the Banuk tribe, which that's where we found Thaddeus was being shipped by the Banuk tribe.
But
so I mean,
when
like,
we encountered the Banuk tribe, they were a neutral organization, famed for their neutrality.
but not anymore.
Well, no.
Okay, and then
And there's the two twin drow. So like they've got
the Imperators of Kangxi.
Okay.
Yeah, that thing.
Which I believe is the
those.
2-crown symbol we've come across as well.
So, yeah,
I think I saw that in a cave.
Yeah,
It
in a
seems
mine.
like the Red Wolf is like slowly acquiring, other shady people.
And then
Who among the varied factions of this world is not in the pocket of this animal?
I can think of one.
the Iron Light.
No! The Agents of Repair. No, the Iron Light. We don't know anything about the Iron Light. Someone's trying to kill all of them.
Okay,
so
we're
they
not
might
talking about the
still
Iron
work.
Light right now.
I'll
We're
look
talking
up-
about the other one.
What's the Shraya Puryana? Maybe he owns the Iron Light. We don't know anything.
The Strata Pariana.
Yeah, the Shraya Puryana.
The Strata Pariana.
Strata.
Like
Shraya.
up above.
Strata? Up above?
The cosmos.
That's called Strata?
I think so.
I just turned to look up at the sky.
And I'll look up as well. Okay.
Hey, Zorko, what's the sky called?
It is called the sky. You nailed it the first try.
I think you're wrong, Kellic. It's called the sky.
All right.
Okay. So I understand that. And then Vasronath.
Hold on. This starts with Vasronath.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't know anything about him,
The
so I
outcast.
can't really say it starts
A
with him.
humanoid with holes where his eyes should be. That's what we
Really?
know.
That's terrifying.
We know that?
Yeah. Or that was at least the description given to us by Zeta.
Do you think she actually saw him, though?
It could have been an avatar.
And do they have their own organization, or is it just like the Red Wolf is trying to be partners with the Bosranoth?
Well,
Death
the
has a
cult-
life. I
The
serve
cult
the
of the Red
outcast.
I know we're calling them the Red Wolf, but they're really the cult of the Red
The
Wolf because
order
they fought.
of the Red Wolf is what they would tell us they were.
But they're a
Right,
cult.
we
They're a
should really
cult.
be respectful of the bad
right,
guys'
I mean, we got
organization.
I just think precision is helpful in this discussion. I'm
Fair enough.
considering all the names, right? So, it starts with the outcast. The Order of the Red Wolf serves
who may
the
or,
outcast.
who may or may not be a son or a No, am I wrong?
Well, I thought
The-
they served Corvin Amberstone.
Corbin
Mm.
Amberstone is the right hand of the Red Wolf.
And the Red Wolf is who?
We don't.
We fought the
we
Red
found
Wolf.
the corpse in the tomb of the Red
Oh.
Wolf. We put the crown back on him.
Okay, do we think that's Bosranoth, or that was
No,
who we
they
Bosranoth
serve
was?
the
No.
outcast.
In death as in life, I serve the outcast.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, important to note, the Red Wolf is the father to the Fallen Storm.
Right.
And the son of Archfey Dalmuk, who I don't know how Archfey Dalmuk factors into all of this, but
Okay.
that's a name I haven't heard in many years.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit lost, but I think I understand.
You and me both, Flynn. I mean, it's a bunch of baddies. And
I spend a lot of time looking at how things connect to one another, and even I'm struggling with some of
Yeah.
this. They're far out.
so the cult of the Red Wolf,
Order.
the Order of the Red Wolf, support the outcast, who is Vosranoth.
Correct.
Okay, so Corvin Amberstone is kind of leading. Corvin Amberstone is kind of leading the Order of the Red Wolf
It
right
seems
now.
he is their
De facto leader.
Okay, that makes
well
sense.
put on.
Yeah, I know words.
And how do the crystals come
Real
in?
ones too. The crystals, I think, were something that Kale's army did. Maybe,
Kale's army?
yeah. Kale is like a commander in the army or like whatever, like a big lieutenant guy.
Okay.
And he was being chased by the Order of the Red Wolf, and they trapped him in prison crystals.
What army was he with?
The Kaldurian army?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's human.
Kale is a general of the Caldor.
Yeah, like a big guy up in the
But he's
up
on
in
a
the
run,
thing.
so I wonder if he's derelict from duty.
Well, there was some business about a spy. Like his dad was talking to your person. Or we thought they would. Maybe they had a spy on the other side, remember? And then like when we were in the tunnel, or not in the tunnel, but when we were in Addersfeld the first time and we went through that house, the bombed out house, and we found that there was probably a spy. Because that's where we got the sigil, and that's
Caldor, yes.
But so Kale had Kale's dad, which is Brom, he had some kind of spy, maybe? They had some guy in Addersfeld or Cold Crest that they were talking to. But there were we had some letters between Kale and Brom that were like, don't trust this person anymore, or something like that.
About Artemisia.
Huh.
Did you assume they were about Artemisia, or were they actually about Artemisia? I'm
They
gonna pull
named
out the
her.
notes. Do I still have the letters?
Yes, you would. You didn't get rid of them.
So I'm gonna stick my arm in my bag, and I had just been clearing out my bag and putting everything back in. So I kind of remember where I put all the papers. I rolled them all up together, and I'm gonna rifle through them. Do I see Artemisia's name on any of them in the letters that were between?
Yes, you do. You see her name specifically.
As she's doing this, I'm just going to snatch a dandelion off of the path as we're walking and just blow the little puffs off of it.
When he does this, can I see that happen?
Yeah.
Do you seem happy or having fun?
Make an insight check.
Sure. I'm just trying to understand.
make an
like,
insight check.
I'm not trying to hide it,
no,
but
yeah,
it's kind of a
I'm
neutral
just trying to
gesture.
read. Yeah, I'm just trying to read if this is enjoyable. I don't know. A really low roll. It's 4 plus something.
Hard to tell. I seem just from the morning, maybe a little bit. You've seen me now, kind of fall into a state where I'm passive, and I'm in that same kind of place where it's there's a little bit of distance in the way that I'm regarding everyone.
Olma, you pull out the document, and as you're flipping through it, you do find the exact document that you were looking for, and you do see that Artemisia's name is specifically mentioned in that document.
Okay, so Artemisia was already talking to Brahm way back when. Do you think she was pretending? Or do you think he always knew she was after the keys?
She was pretending. And she's an incredible performer. Artemisia was the bright hope. She was a new dawn for the Temple of Famir after one of the darkest dusks.
When did she take over?
About 10 years ago.
Okay, so during the war.
Mm-hmm.
So she could have been a spy the whole time. Maybe she actually works. Maybe she was always with the cult of the order of the Red Wolf, and she just tried to make her way up.
But why would she do that?
Power?
I'm just twisting the stem of the dandelion in my fingers. I'm kind of just like focusing on it really intently. I don't know. Artemisia used the power of Famir to strike us down. It's horrible. It's worse than I imagined.
Do you have any way to talk to your god?
Zachary?
Yeah, maybe he knows.
About what?
About the old gods and turning. Maybe the old gods just want power any way they can, so they're willing to align with an order of a red wolf.
Well, why don't you just...
And Vosranoth.
Why don't you just ask the old god? Can't you still talk to them?
Would you want to? After actually dying because of power from them?
Well, it's not like they did it.
I talk to them all the time. But I've never heard back from Famir. There might be something to it, Homna, if the old gods are dissipating. If they're suffering, then they might turn to a power like the outcast to try and maintain.
An edge?
Yeah, I don't know.
But where are they getting their power from?
Who?
The outcast.
Well, they're connected to Archfey, right? So, no, that's the Red Wolf.
I don't really know if we can answer it or if I'm even looking for an answer. Just it's worrisome.
Well,
Are they getting it from the new gods?
the world began with gods. And the gods existed in contrast to nothingness. And perhaps that nothingness was the outcast.
That's terrifying.
And I flick the stem of the dandelion away. Grasping at straws. But these are powers beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, okay, let's skip the gods for now, because we don't know anything about that. Let's talk about the waste a little bit, right? And how, the waste and the Dirkia ruins were kind of similar at one point, and maybe the waste is growing?
Yeah.
Didn't you get that from your history book?
Yeah, in the book, and I'll go and I'll pull the book out of my bag as we're strolling. And yeah, and this, it was saying that it was a city before, so where everything looked like to meet.
Can I see that then?
Yeah, I'll hand it to him.
Grab the book. I'm going to flip it open, DM, and I want to see... The title of the book is The Tragedy of the Loss.
Yes.
What is the loss? Can I find that information, like what the book's thesis is?
Yeah, so just flipping through the first couple pages, it sort of gives a brief overview of what the book is going to be talking about. And you discern that the loss was the event that took place that made the waste, that turned the city that was at the center and everything around it, as well as a couple of other cities that were there at the time, into sand that now is the waste.
Can I find the in this description? Can I find the name of the original city? This city of the the center city of this whole world?
Yeah, for sure. So that center city where all of the borders of the lands come together and meet in this central sort of religious as well as geographical center of the world, you see that it's called Primordia. The city of Primordia.
What?
Interesting. Well, it strikes me that the name of this book, right? The tragedy of the loss. The thing that was lost. This city, Primordia. The beginning of Elbor. I don't know. Does the whole world become the waste at the end of all of this? Is that what it's destined for?
Oh. Does it say it's growing?
I don't think, and I'm just kind of like
There-
just like shuffling through pages.
There are some like rough sketches, which is what you actually can see the geography from.
Yeah.
There are some rough sketches of the waste, and from what you read on this first couple pages, it was an event that happened that created this massive desert.
Yeah.
And from what Flynn knows, the amount of time that this book was written, it was written a long, long time ago. And the drawings and the sketches that are in there, the waste looks just about the same as it does today.
Okay.
Maybe some of the borders have shifted a little bit compared to the map that you guys have, but looks about the same size.
Not from the conclusion of these historians.
Well, that's good. Does it say exactly how it happened?
Yeah. What was the event? What caused the event? I guess.
Yeah, so you, in order to discern that, you would probably have to read through most of the book,
Sure.
Probably a couple hours. But is that something that you want to do on this journey south? Is start flipping through this book?
I sort of flip through this book to see if I can find a quick answer for Flynn, and I just I look up from it, and I think I'll need some time with this, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But maybe if we stop in Nestle Valley.
Okay.
Speaking of, and I stir the book for now. When we left Nestle Valley, they just summoned the cult pikes to come and
Deal with the Nothics?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hope everything's all right there.
Well, we're gonna go see.
Also, Westbury.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we get a letter in the Iron Light about a problem that Westbury was having?
Oh, did we? I'll dig through my bag and pull up them. All right. Yeah. Okay. I got it. All right. So, let's look at some ears. Well, open assistance.
Flynn, you gotta speak up. I don't know what you're saying.
Or just summarize. For us.
Right. I'm speed reading. Okay. It's there's beasts from somewhere not from here. That's scary. And people are missing their family members. Wait, why don't we just do this one over there?
I turn to...
Wait, I still don't understand. There's what?
One moment, Tom. I turn to the dwarves that we're traveling with. Are you all from Westbury?
Aye, we're all originally from there. Yes.
Interdimensional creatures coming out. Kidnappings in Westbury.
We might have the answer to this one too.
They were gonna use these people to
Yeah.
summon more monsters.
Well, they
Were you guys
almost did.
kidnapped from Westbury, all of you?
Yes. Yeah. Most of us in our sleep, from what we were just saying.
Yeah. Okay, so that's solved. So you can get a check mark on your
Yeah.
little blue ribbon
This
for
is
that
great.
one. Hey, Zorko.
Yes.
Do you think Flynn has reached his silly status or whatever? There's the to get the thingy with the
It's
with
not
the thingy.
silly, Oma.
Okay, but to get the like the badge of honor or whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, he did save your life.
Do you have trophies with you at all?
Oh yeah, and I'll go in the bag and I'll pull out the arm or the hand
Okay,
of the
but he's
Nothic.
also got notes that have been signed off. Doesn't that?
Even if you had not, it pains me to say, but I would be willing to personally vouch for your.
You would?
Yeah. Well, you saved me. I think I owe you one.
Wait, I didn't hear you. What'd you say? Say that again.
We're not moving as fast as we need to be to get to Nestle Valley by nighttime. So I think we should start to move quicker.
Okay, one question. Do we have to like go back to Addersfeld, or can they just like send him whatever he needs to have to be like fully fledged?
No, he needs to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing to get.
We
Ceremony.
have certain not only rituals, but things that items like this, and he pats his pauldron on the shoulder. Things that imbue with magical abilities that are not sent through the mail.
Okay, Flynn, are you going to be less of a pain in the ass if we get this done for you?
I'm not a pain in the ass. You're a pain in the ass.
You're a pain in the ass.
What?
I'm with little girl on this.
So Flynn, are you going to be less like, I'm not powerful enough and I'm a sad boy if we do this thing for you?
You're mean.
Are you going to answer the question? Are you going to be
Can you
better?
rephrase it nicely?
Yeah, are you going
I
to
will
be
admit
better?
that was pretty mean.
Right? I mean, you're mean, but jeez.
Okay, don't push your luck. I'm on your side for this.
Are
How's
you
your
going to
life
be
that I
better?
saved?
Are you going to be better and not like work yourself to the bone so that you're exhausted all the time if we do this thing for you?
No promises.
Why?
Well, there's people hunting us now that apparently like
Okay,
us.
no, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, this whole thing has been like, I gotta do this to become a sentinel. I gotta do this to become a sentinel. So once you're a sentinel, like, will that be it? Are you just gonna, like, be cool?
There is much more independence. I will say that.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yes.
Look at him.
Seems like you've been making a lot of decisions independently already. So, I mean... So I'm just trying to say...
I would really
Once-
like my pauldron.
I'm just observing
Okay,
this
so
with
like-
amusement. I'm just
Once-
just watching this like a carnival.
So, like, once you get the pauldron...
Yeah.
And you're a sentinel, and apparently people are going to be trying to kill you, you're going to...
Be practicing to get better so I can defend myself against the people trying to kill me, yes.
Right, but you're not going to be like, I got to do this, and then we got to go back to Addersfeld, and I got to do this, and then I got to go back to Addersfeld, and I got to do this, and then... Because
Well-
we've got... I don't know if you've been listening, but we've got a lot to do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yes. Once I get this, it'll give me some more independence. But I mean, there are not rules, but there's like things that sentinels are tasked to do. Like some people.
Zorko was tasked to do this Red Wolf nonsense. Can't you just get tasked to do it, Zorko? Can't you just tell Melleru that Flynn was helping you and that Flynn is going to take point?
Yes. I am only stationed at Attersfeld and taking orders from Melleru continually, because I choose to do so at this moment.
Okay.
And Zorko's eyes kind of linger on Flynn for a moment longer.
But I wink because I heard everything.
Sort of shakes his head. Theoretically, once you leave Addersfeld this last time, you don't need to go back. As I'm sure you know, with Victor, it could be years until you return.
Oh, thank
If you would like.
God.
Yeah.
I'm only stationed there because I choose to be so.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have a little bit of leeway to take care of this. Of course, after we figure out what's going on with people trying to kill us, us, and I'll point to
Yeah,
Zorko.
well, we can help you do that. We were already doing that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why Shreya left. I'm not saying let's not do that. I'm
Well,
just
that-
saying, like, are you going to be less like, I got to listen to Melleru every second of every day?
Right. Well, I mean, she is the boss.
So it sounds like you're saying yes. So just say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I nod serenely, like a father.
And I will slowly stroll away from that conversation,
Okay.
trying to distance myself from this mean little girl. And
I'm not being mean.
and I will saddle up next to Zorko. And speaking of power, what have you found? And I'll pull out my Sentinel book and my bestiary as we're walking, kind of just like flip through pages and show him some stuff that I've seen. Do you want to like trade notes?
Probably not at this moment. And he reaches his right hand up to sort of scratch at his face. And as he's coming back down, he signs to you with a couple flurries of his fingers.
Cool.
The words fall back, and his pace starts to slow.
I'll notice that. I'll clock it, and I'll just slowly kind of like let myself drop to the back of the pack, and in a way that like we're going to flank the civilians, so we have the back covered, and
Okay.
so the two sentinels. But us two will be in the back, and then they can be in the front covering the front.
As we walk past Flynn, you're walking so slow, Flynn.
Well,
I know you've got short legs, but come on.
I'm going to go to the back with Zorko, and we can watch from the rear to make sure no one from the back gets lost or falls or gets attacked. This is like a typical thing that we learn in the Iron Light.
Okay.
Okay, bye. And I'll walk to the back with Zorko.
Okay.
Do I hear anything weird going on, or like, do I see anything out of place? Like, I'll take a quick look around when he says he's gonna like circle the civilians to make
a
sure.
perception check.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
You don't see anything weird, but I mean, it makes sense to have some fighters in the back just to flank the civilians who are not trained in any sort of combat.
What do you want?
And he goes and he looks at the book that you pulled out.
Mm-hmm. The bestiary or the spell list of spells from.
Oh, he grabs the bestiary.
Okay.
And he starts flipping through the notes that you've taken on the monsters that you've taken down, and he passes by the page of the Cyclops, and you see his eyes kind of raise and a little bit impressed.
Awesome.
And he puts it down and gives it back to you, and he says, if you don't mind, we can next time we are stopped, we could trade notes. I'd love to take down what you have taken down, and you can have some of what I have taken down.
Help
as
each other, right?
Yes.
Like a team.
I wouldn't go that far.
What? Okay.
Also,
Fine.
I this morning before everyone woke up, I went back down to the ruins, and I don't know exactly what this is, and he takes out a small piece of parchment, and he says, this was written all over the central pillar that the key was put into, and it was also inlaid at the bottom of the pillars that everyone was strapped to. I don't know what this is, though. And he hands you a piece of paper.
Okay.
And you unroll it, and you can see very clearly and what you can now read as Infernal. You see 4 lines written out there, etched in a very similar way to how you guys had actually etched the Infernal previously. And it says, "What has come to pass shall come again. The seeds we sow have been for naught. Our only path forward is to expand beyond. The end is the beginning."
End is the beginning, I say out loud. Huh. What do you think all this means?
I don't know. I cannot even read it. I just heard you say the end is the beginning.
That's a thing I can kind of do now, I guess. I had a thing in, like a demon or some devil or something in my head.
Like takes a step back.
It's fine now. I mean, it's out, I think. It's in a cage. Where we're going, you can see it. It's pretty weird. Scary. Dark.
It lets you read whatever language this is?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I can understand it now. So.
I mean, I'd call that useful. So, what did the full thing say?
While this conversation's been going on, DM, can I have been reading the
for
Tragedy
sure.
of the Lost? Cool.
Yeah. There is going to be a slight, not quite disadvantage because you are traveling while reading
Sure,
it, but
yeah.
you will still be able to get quite a bit done.
Once Alma and Flynn started bickering, I probably would have just
Okay, yeah.
okay, this is fine. I'm just gonna keep my ears open, but I'll start reading.
I look over at Kellic and he's reading, and I look back at Flynn and Zorkol, and they're just chatting, and I just am kicking a rock as we walk, and murmuring to myself.
All right.
So it says, "What has come to pass shall come again. The seeds we sow have been for naught. Our only path forward is to expand beyond. The end is the beginning. That's the last part that I read before. So maybe I don't know. I can bring this to the team if that's all right. They're kind of smart.
I don't know how much you trust them, so
I
wanted to give this to you, and you can decide.
Okay, don't tell them this, but I trust them with my life.
Shit. Okay then.
Yeah. So.
As I'm kicking around forward and like
with incredible
murmuring
precision.
and murmuring to myself, and like my head is bobbing as I'm like having an argument basically with myself in my head, just like with Flynn in my head.
Almost arguing even when she's alone.
Why do you think I'm so good at it?
Yeah. Yeah, they mean a lot.
Okay, then feel free to do with this information what you will.
Okay. I'll see if they know anything. Yeah. Really cool to be hanging out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you bully me?
Shit, I didn't think I would be getting that question.
Like, I was just trying to do my best, and like, I know I didn't really fit in, but like, what? I know I'm not as tall as you, and I know I'm not as strong or not as smart, but I tried.
And trying will only get you so far. I did not believe you belonged there. Now I am proven incorrect.
Good. I'm gonna keep proving you wrong.
Okay.
Saved your life. And as I walk away. Hey guys, I
immediately like shake myself out of my. What?
I'm still wrapped in the book.
I found Zorkel gave me this paper, and it's in like the weird language, but I can read it, so I guess it's like before. Anyway,
At this, I put my head up.
Yeah, I look at it, and it looks like the carvings that we got from the cave.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, the same symbology, not the exact same like lettering, but very clearly the same symbology.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was all over the cave.
Yeah.
You know, like in death as in life, we will serve the outcast. Spooky.
Yeah, I mean, this one's just like that. You want me to read it?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
read it.
Okay, so it says, "What has come to pass shall pass." Crap, hold on, that's wrong.
Are you sure you can read it?
What has come to pass shall come again. The seeds we sow have been for naught. Our only path forward is to expand beyond. The end is the beginning.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, they're getting keys to go to other planes.
Yeah.
Is that the
Expand
expansion beyond?
Yeah.
And apparently Zorko found this all over the ruins. All this scribbles all over the ruins.
Do you think the scribbles were there like after the ruins were ruins or before the ruins were ruins?
What has come to pass will come again.
Like were they freshly scribbled on the ruins?
I'll look at the paper. Does it look like it has been newly formed or written? Or?
Looking at them, the letters themselves look pretty distinctive. You'd think if they were there for a while, there would be like some wearing on the edges and everything, but all the lines look pretty straight.
I mean, this looks pretty new, or ish. So,
What came to pass that they're trying to make come again?
Well, the ruins became a ruins because of some reason, right?
I hold the book up and I tap it.
Yeah, keep reading.
The loss?
Yeah, I think.
Is that what's coming again? According to their deranged
Because why wouldn't they just do that in the waste then?
idea.
Wait, that's what they're trying to do.
But it's already a waste.
Maybe they're trying to make it bigger, like you said.
Those are two different cities, though. The Dakir ruins are different than the waste. Unless the same thing happened in both
Maybe it says
places.
something in that book about the Dakir ruins.
But we're not far from the waste.
The seeds we sow have been for naught. Maybe something went wrong?
The seeds we sow, present tense, have been for naught.
Yeah, like they've been trying to sow chaos, but it hasn't been working.
Yeah.
I mean, seems kind of like it's working.
Expand beyond?
Yeah, with the planes. Yeah, like they're open to other planes. I mean, that one makes the most sense
Like
out
the
of all of
key.
them.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, that one makes the most sense. to
How
me.
does allowing a creature spewing magma through a gate into this world. Help anyone.
Well, the end is the beginning.
Yeah.
So, like,
They
kill
need to end
me
it.
and then I'll start again. And I don't know. Isn't that like all like orders and cults and things? They're like, kill me so I can like.
Are you experienced in this, Alma?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know any cults off the top of my head. Unless you count the new gods.
Well, I haven't really been with any cults, but like, we did die and come back. So, do you feel any different?
What do you mean?
Like after dying and coming back?
Like my end was the beginning?
Yeah. Do you
No.
feel like a newborn baby?
I look at her, I scowl at her and take offense to this. No.
Do your knees feel any better?
No, they don't feel any better, Alma. Thank you
Oh.
for asking.
So you don't feel like it's a beginning?
No, and I don't think that's what they meant.
Can't
either.
you just ask your god to fix your knees? He's not doesn't have the power to fix that?
like shake my head with incredulity. Oh, and I'll just ask them to end the war while I'm at it. Right?
Yeah, that'd be a good
That
idea.
seems really
Yeah,
helpful.
That would save us a lot of time.
I'll just, cast a sending spell.
Well, actually, I mean, the war is between the old gods and the new gods and like their followers. So like, I can see why, it's
Yeah,
hard
wait.
for them to end it.
So if you like the new gods, does that mean that you're like for what Caldor is doing to promote them?
I think it's a little bit more complex than that, Flynn.
Well, I just would like an answer.
No, of course not. The killing being done is repulsive to me. But, I don't know, in truth, you say I like the new gods, but that is the extent of my relationship. I have a sort of, tenuous friendship with Zachriel. And I just look at the center of my palm with the scar. But my relationship with Famir was totally different. I loved her. Zachriel to me is maybe closer to your relationship with Elbor. A person with power whose aims I think I understand and respect, but I don't like the way he's going about what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he, similarly, then, gives me the power to make my own changes to this world.
And the old gods didn't? Or the Semple didn't?
I sort of shrug. It's not as simple as that. I served Famir for 30 years. More.
And the new gods took her out? Killed her? I can't remember what happened. Why are the new gods gone now?
Her power flows through Artemisia to smite us. And the war persists because the old gods refuse to loosen their grasp of Andel and Genbaldir. So, I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, I don't know. I never really talked about any gods before now.
Me either.
So isn't it fair to say that just because you lived in a place that supports the new old gods and Kellic has a new god, I mean, why does that really affect us? I think people should get to listen to whatever god they want to listen to, and why do we have to have a big war because of it,
Well, Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I think you should be able to worship whoever you want, but when one person worshiping a god tries to force it on someone else and is killing in the name of that god, that's not okay.
But that's happening in both directions.
When did that happen in both directions?
At Coldcrest.
They attacked an outpost. If they didn't attack it, they wouldn't have fought.
But outposts exist for the reason to continue war.
Outposts exist to protect. And And if a new god follower is attacking someone that doesn't believe, that's wrong. I don't really have any problems with the new gods. I just have the problems with the people that are following them. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are doing some bad things. And
I think the bad things are happening because of a country, though, not because of like those. The army is the army of Kaldor. They're not the army of the new gods.
When the tomb of the Red Wolf was cracked, shadows spilled across the timberland and afflicted a mighty curse upon the people of Shreya's little commune. The old gods abandoned those people. They never showed them the ways to create their own power. Those people relied on the power of the gods to protect them, and when that power disappeared, they were helpless, like little children. The new gods aim to change that. And they're content to do it through bloodshed. That seems to be the only way anything gets done around here. In this land. Even in our efforts, we've had to cut down mortals. Men and women. And I don't know how big does that scale become when you're trying to change the whole world?
I just don't think killing innocent people because they don't follow the same God you do is okay.
Even if the aim is to give those people the means to their own salvation.
Let them follow who they want.
That's what they purport. Zakhir believes in giving people a choice. But he doesn't think that the people of Andel and Genbaldir have that choice. And for a decade of my life, I took that choice away from people. Does I just become cloistered? I just my vision just leans down and I sort of stop making eye contact.
I'll go towards the side of the road. Are there still dandelions? I'd like to pick one up and just walk back over to Kellic. You said your head was kind of closer, you're pointed down. I will kind of put the dandelion in his view.
I'll take it.
So we help them. We help them understand.
Help who understand?
Everyone. You have, for lack of a better term, a foot in both camps. You have a lot of knowledge about both sides. You can spread that knowledge and maybe help people understand so we don't have to fight. So they don't have to fight. So Kaldor can stop attacking, and so the old god followers can make a better choice.
You went to bed the other night, but Kellic and I were talking about all we really need is for people to understand that the old gods are dead and done.
Well,
and that there's no hope. So
maybe not lead with that, though.
Okay, well, but that they're dead, so
but that one
we don't need them.
Well, lady is using the power still, so
they're not quite dead, I don't think.
Yeah.
But they're losing power.
They might be something else entirely.
Do you think the outcast is one of the gods? Old or new?
I think he's to use the word of this order, he's beyond the gods.
Do you think
he is the outcast from
Do you think the old gods went to the outcast for power? And that's their edge? They're trying to use him to get power to fight the new gods?
Maybe. The outcast, do you think he was one of the gods and that was outcast from being a god? Maybe he's a new god that was outcast?
Maybe that's why he is the outcast, because he was outcast from the
new gods or the old gods.
From the old gods.
Yeah, one of them.
I mean,
we talked about outcasts being not inside, being outside.
Not in the in crowd.
The in crowd are the old gods.
The old gods?
Maybe.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
But
because
it's a little bit like a cudgel in this very precise argument, but it makes sense to me.
So, until we know otherwise, maybe we just lead with that.
Yeah. I mean, it could, since it's been there for a while, I don't know how long ago the new gods got here, but it seems like the outcast has been around for a long, long time. It might make sense that the outcast is an old god that was outcast from being an old god. Maybe that's how the new gods started. Maybe the new gods are the outcast.
No, I don't think that.
No.
Because they're older than I am, but they're not that old.
Okay.
What, the new gods?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they're...
The war's only been going on for
young.
the war's only been going on for 30 years.
I mean, it takes a while to make a god, I would assume. But maybe they didn't get the team set up until now.
My understanding was that they dethroned the old gods, that they found a way. I don't know how.
There's a lot. I'm hungry.
Don't you think... So here's the thing, though. Don't you think because... Kelly, I always forget her name. It's so weird.
Artemisia?
Yeah. Because
maybe
Artemisia...
call her Frida? Is that easier?
Frida?
Frida Artemisia.
No, that's not any easier.
You could call her Ka-Om.
Okay, that's not... I'm over
Ka-Om
it now.
Frida Artemisia.
I know, I'm just going to call her Artemisia. But if I forget it, I'm just going to ask you.
Strada Pariana.
Strada Pariana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Flynn's right.
I think that's right.
No, what I was going to say, stop distracting me. I was going to say that if Artemisia is part of the Order of the Red Wolf and supports the outcast, but is using powers from an old god, wouldn't it stand to reason that the old gods have supported the outcast and that the outcast was outcast from the old gods, not from the new?
Unless there's some way to combine the powers. When I found Artemisia, she was doing some kind of dark ritual. And maybe she found a way to, I don't know, combine her connection to Famir.
I think we have a lot of theories. We just need answers.
Well, we have two people to extract those answers from.
Oh, that's right.
And they reside in a dungeon of a practiced torturer.
Is it weird? Is it probably bad that they're with the demon?
Do you think they're already stone?
No.
Can you reach out to Hayfried, or just how does that work?
I can, I think.
Does it get to his goopy void?
That's a good question. I don't,
Well, we'll figure it out eventually. Just, have hope, Kelly.
Aye, well, given the options, I think hope is really the only choice I have.
I'm going to turn to look at everyone behind us. How are you all holding up?
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Steady pace?
A little tired, but I think we'll make it.
Speaking of, how at this point, how
long have we been walking?
At this point, it's been a couple hours, probably about midday.
So we should probably stop and take a break.
Do we know how long until we get there?
You know how long it took you to get from Nestle Valley to the Dakir ruins, and it took you better part of a day.
Okay, so
and you are traveling at a slightly slower speed, just with the larger group now. But today you did leave a little bit earlier, so you're probably going to get there nighttime.
Okay,
yeah.
Do you guys want to take a midday break?
I'm so hungry. Yes.
Okay.
I'm still observing this dandelion. May my end be the beginning. And I blow the little seeds off of it to go sprout other dandelions.
Zorkal, we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
You wanna
just here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You wanna look at the books?
Yeah, we can sit down.
Cool. All right, and I'll go over to Zorkal and pull out my bestiary first and kind of like exchange and see if he's got any monsters and notes of monsters that I've yet to meet or see.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to look for berries and stuff outside.
I'm going to read the tragedy of the lost.
I'm gonna look for things that we can feed the people.
All right. So he has 3 detailed accounts of monsters that you do not have.
Okay.
You flip to the first one, and you can see that, well, first and foremost, he's a pretty good artist. Like, as he sketched these things, he's got some pretty good detail. So, the first page that you flip to, it has an image there, a drawing of a almost lizard-like creature that has 8 legs, and it looks stocky, and it looks muscular, and you can see on the front it's got these rows of razor sharp teeth and like a snake's forked tongue that comes out of the front.
Cool.
You can see these eyes that, even though it is a charcoal drawing, you can see they almost look like they're glowing, and some dark spikes that go along the back of the head and down the spine into the tail. And you can see that he has labeled this as a basilisk. So you can read his notes. You can see different weak points that he has detailed out. You can see how difficult it is to have combat with this thing, how long it usually takes in battle, as well as some other notes. The next one that you see that you have not taken down, this creature it looks like a giant snake skeleton.
Ugh.
Like, it doesn't have any flesh on it. It doesn't have any musculature. It is just bones. And you can see it comes into the skull head of a snake, but the bottom jaw is like in 2 pieces. It's like ripped in half. And you can see that this one is labeled as a bone naga.
What? Okay.
And you get all the information on that as well.
Cool.
Lastly,
there's another.
I hope we never see
the
any
last
of
one.
these.
Yeah, right.
The last one you see is the most terrifying of the bunch. You see a humanoid figure standing there, hunched over, long arms draping down the front, long, what looks like wet, draping hair coming over the face. You can see it drenched in not only this almost like goopy liquid, but also seaweed just dripping off of it, as you see it labeled as a sea hag.
No way. Gross.
And so you add all of those to your notes. You now have detailed accounts on a sea hag, bone naga, and basilisk.
Whoa. What is that? And I'll point to the picture of the sea hag that you described.
Something that you should pray that you never come across. It was unpleasant, to say the least.
It looks unpleasant. Did it smell unpleasant too?
Yes.
You know, I'm finding that a lot of these things just smell.
Just don't smell
Smell
very
bad.
good. No, not at all.
What about this one? And I'll point to the bone naga. Like, where did you fight that?
That was sort of up north. I went sort of by. It's next to Elbor. There's a place where a river sort of intersects with the Summer Still Mountains.
Huh.
And I fought it at the base of the mountains.
Which one of these, and I'll point to the book in general, which one of these are the hardest for you to fight?
The basilisk provided its own set of challenges that I did not enjoy.
Like what?
It starts to turn you to stone.
What?
Yes.
Okay, as I fervently write that, I'll circle it, star it. Okay, good to know. Well, have you seen any of this stuff that I've seen? And I'll I'll give him my book.
And he immediately flips. Flips to the page with the Cyclops.
Yeah.
And begins writing that down.
Oh, do you want to see the necklace? And I'll go to my bag and I'll pull the necklace out because Kelly gave it to me, I believe.
Yeah, Flynn,
and I'll pull the necklace out of the bag and I'll. It was wearing this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He continues to flip through. He flips to the page with the hook horrors, and he just like looks at it for a second, looks at his book, and you can see he's like comparing his notes to your notes.
Mm-hmm.
Continues to flip, and he stops at the fire giant as well.
Ooh.
That's another one that he takes down. And the rest of them, he doesn't take as much time with. He just sort of jots down the basic notes, but those are the two that he sort of takes some time, really sees, what's dangerous about this, what do I avoid, and all that good stuff. Kellic, I'm going to have you roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh, here we go. Do well.
I know, I'm using a die that's somewhat reliable. Natural 20.
Yes, let's go, dude! Woo!
For a total and straight intelligence, right? This
Yep.
is 23 total.
Okay, that natural 20 is going to
That's
get
so
you.
perfect, man.
Let's go, dude.
Perfect.
Okay. So, the tragedy of the loss.
Read us the whole fucking book.
Yeah, I'm not going to. It's a big book, so I'm not going to go word for word. But I'll give you this summary and some detailed points. So, the book starts out as there was the city of Primordia. It also details in some of the other cities that were around Primordia at the time that are now engulfed by the waste. But reading through it doesn't seem that these particular the surrounding cities don't seem to play a huge part and are not focused too much in the narrative.
Got it.
But then the book recounts a time when in Primordia there was a singular temple to the old gods that reached far into the sky, right in the middle of Primordia. It was made of this white marble, and it was said that upon approaching Primordia, you were able to see this temple from miles away, day or night. And it was this sort of beacon to the old gods. You also read that there was nearly constant worship done in this temple. People from all over the world would make this a destination to come to. Even non-religious people would come just to see and to witness this place. It also accounts the city itself, not just the temple, but the city of Primordia, which is described as just as beautiful. Gardens just about everywhere, each building seemingly incorporated into nature itself, and flowers constantly in bloom, food readily available. There seemed to be a very loose system of commerce where there was more than plenty for everyone. So there was no need for stealing. There was no need for, there was no coveting what your neighbor had because you yourself had access to it. And even systems of money were only existing there as a remnant of the outside world. Beyond the city itself, you read further, and the temple at the center seemed to be a place where the old gods actually visited, physically went, physically appeared in their forms. You could approach Famir, let's say. You could shake Famir's hand.
Let's say.
You could,
just for example,
have a conversation with a tear. You read that Ilduria was much more distant, didn't come to the temple as often, but all of the old gods regularly made physical appearances there.
Just at that information, I just stop reading for a moment and put my face in my hands and sort of bend into the spine of the book from where I'm seated, and then just for a couple moments. And then I'll become aware that it's possible for somebody to be seeing me in this state, and I just get back to reading.
And then you see several different accounts. There seems to be a couple of different sets of notes at this point in the book. You start to get the sense that details are now, in this point in the book, starting to become a little bit more sparse. You see a couple different sets of notes from different people. Seems like stuff that was gathered about this. And you see a couple of different, slightly varying accounts of a small group of people who showed up one day to worship the old gods. And with the natural 20, you find that they all wore red cloaks.
Who did these different accounts?
The group that came one day to worship the old gods.
Okay.
That seems to be a fact that is similar throughout all of the accounts. Is some of the physical descriptions of these people varies in a couple of them, but all of them very distinctly say this group wore red cloaks. You see that there was one of the group that was sort of heralded as not necessarily the leader, but seems to be regarded as a chosen one. Someone a little bit more special than the rest of them that they all held in a certain regard.
Okay.
This person, in all of the accounts, is regarded to as the Storm. All of the accounts then get into even less detail, and fewer of them are written in the book, as the event of the loss seems to begin. The accounts say that this Storm, who was an individual, one day went to the temple and unleashed a great display of raw magical power that even in the presence of this magical temple to the old gods that was already imbued with magic, the accounts say that they have never witnessed anything like this. And as the Storm unleashed their power, everything around them began to vaporize and turn to sand. There was nothing that could be done, it seems. You can read that there were a couple of clerics there to different gods that tried to band together to destroy the Storm that was destroying the temple, but nothing seemed to work. And for days, even possibly expanding into weeks, this Storm continued to unleash their raw magical power, turning everything miles and miles and miles around into sand. Everything. People, buildings, trees, disintegrated into sand. The book then accounts a group of what is described as adventurers, a group of heroes, was assembled from all the different countries, from Kaldur, Ondel, Genboldir, and even Freywood. And these band of heroes got together and all went into the waste, never to be seen again. But days after they entered the waste stopped expanding. It was assumed within this book, and it is the author's opinion, that the heroes were victorious in completing their mission, although either died in their victory or dispersed into the wind to live their lives out once more.
Are there descriptions of the physical appearance of any of these either heroes or of the Storm themselves?
The Storm is described as a young woman.
Young woman. And what about the heroes? Anything at all?
Yes. So there were two heroes from Genboldir, both elven. There was one hero from Ondale, human. There were 3 from Kaldur, who are all dwarven. And there was one hero from Freywood, and their appearance is described as sort of half animal, half human. It's sort of a vague description. You don't exactly get details, but it does seem that they were like sort of walking the line between some sort of humanoid and a beastly creature.
No drow. Do I know anything about the Freywood in terms of their populace? Because each of these other ones, it seems to reflect where they're from, but I don't. Are they beast-like out there?
Yeah, there's it is truly the wildest of wilds in Freywood.
Yeah.
You know that civilization, if you could even call it that, is very sparse. It's more like individual segmented tribes that very similar to actually the commune in Shadow Timberlands.
Yeah.
Sort of that sort of commune sort of thing, but a lot of the people there do hold nature in such a regard that druidic magic is very popular there.
Okay. Oh, and I just kind of like lean back where I'm seated to just like fall on my back and close my eyes. Do I have time within the short rest to cast Sending, or would that reading consume the...
Oh, that reading would take...
I figured.
It would take all of the reading that you did while walking, as well as everything in the short rest. Yeah.
Okay, then that's fine by me.
I'll
Guys, I found some berries. Is anyone hungry?
Not in the slightest.
See a couple of the dwarves raise their hands.
Yeah, here you go. Kellic, do you still have any of that bread?
What did Shreya do with his crate?
I don't know. I don't have it.
I don't think we grabbed it.
Did we leave it in Nestle Valley?
Shrug.
Yeah, wasn't ours to watch.
Do you still have that bread?
I will look in my bag and dig around. Oh, and I'll hold up some bread.
Great. And I will hand out some bread and some berries to all of the dwarves.
Okay, they seem content with bread and berries.
Awesome. I will also enjoy some bread and berries as well.
Okay.
We're not far now from Nestle Valley, and then it's a pretty straight shot to Westbury.
Yeah.
Once people are done eating, probably good to move on.
Yeah, it sounds good. And then out of earshot of Zorkal, or I will say to Kellic more hushedly. So I did some trading of notes with Zorkal and his book. You know how I like write stuff down about monsters we fight?
Yeah.
He saw some cool stuff. But there's this moment that I saw when he was looking at my book, he looked kind of impressed at some of the stuff that we found. So
that's good, Flynn.
Yeah.
I'm very glad for you.
Yeah, so he bought this one thing that was it turns you to stone. It's a stone. How crazy is that?
Well, we've seen a bunch of people turn to stone in Hayfried's little bubble.
Yeah, maybe he knows more about this.
Or maybe that thing... I take a closer look. Maybe... Go with me here.
Huh.
To create an anti-venom, often we use some poultices and some of the venom itself to treat poisons.
Okay.
If this thing turns people to stone, maybe the same principle can be applied.
Maybe.
To help with Hayfried's
well, I can
past.
ask. Well, I mean, Zorkal said this was the most dangerous thing he's fought, but maybe we can try and go to where he fought it and get one, or get its blood. I don't even know what we would need, but maybe we can capture one.
I mean, it depends on how it does it, I suppose, but...
We could use the coin, maybe, to send one to Hayfried into a cage, and
for
he
him
can...
to study? Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe fix his friends? Were they his friends?
No. Decidedly not his friends.
Okay.
But I don't know if a man like Hayfried can even distinguish between friends and enemies anymore.
Yeah, well... Yeah. You think he's got all, everything up there?
He's been surprisingly cognizant for a man who's seen so many horrors.
Yeah, right?
So, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
He's been an incredible help to us.
Yeah.
And I think we've helped him just a bit. At least to give him a new lease on all this.
Yeah, I mean... Maybe this could be a way of saying thank you.
I've, ever since I saw those statues, It made me think of the graveyards. At temples of Mirkeep, they when you're a person of high status, often a ritual is done so that your remains can be preserved in a statue. It's supposed to be a thing of dignity. Your material remains stay here, and your soul is sent to the heavens. But Hayfried's graveyard is. Their souls are still there in those statues.
Is that what he said?
No, I'm making an inference.
I mean, hopefully they are, because if they're the enemies, that means there are enemies, and if we can turn them out away from
I
stone...
think they may have been his enemies when he was a servant of the Red Wolf, so that would make them our friends.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, then we definitely should get them out.
loosely.
But I think either way, if we get them out and they're our enemies, then we can ask them questions.
Enemy or friend, Flynn, that's not a fate we should wish on anyone.
True.
And Hayfried knows that.
Maybe we should ask Zorkal we fought this thing, and maybe we can try and get one on our way to wherever we're going at some point. I don't know. But I mean...
I nod my head.
Yeah, it might be helpful. I mean, especially if they have information on the Red Wolf or on Vosranoth or the Outcast or Hollow Guard, any of it. We need information right now. We need answers. Right now we just have theories. So if there's ways to get more answers, that might be a good one.
It also strikes me we have a debt to pay to Hayfried.
Yeah.
And I think relieving him of this burden would mean a lot to him. Just from the little I know of the dwarf.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's put it on the list.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list. Don't tell Alma, though, because it seems like she's kind of frazzled with all this stuff we're dealing with already.
I think we should tell Alma she doesn't like to be left out of these
That's true,
things.
too. I just never know with her. Like, I don't know how you deal with her. You do it so well. Like, I always butt heads.
Yeah, well, you just kind of let her run her course, you know? She's only got so much energy.
That's a good point. I never thought about the long haul.
Yeah.
It's a long...
And for what it's worth, you know, she's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Despite the temperament.
Yeah. He has some good points sometimes. Sometimes they're just a little mean.
Yeah. Hard to argue with that. It's true.
All right, I'll add it to the list, and maybe we'll run into one day. I don't know. But yeah, he's done a lot, and I'll reach down and pick up the hand crossbow off my hip. How cool is this? And I'll aim it at a tree and shoot it.
Flynn!
What? It's fine.
Well, there's people around, you
Aimed
know.
it away from the people.
I know, but
I gotta practice with this thing too. I was thinking about using this instead of the bow. I think it's cool. It's cooler, right? It's like
you've
smaller.
given the bow off to Shreya.
Well, yeah, I can't really do anything right now because I'm afraid if I do anything, it'll take the bow away or something. So, but I think in the future, this might be kind of cool. Like, and I shoot it again at the tree.
Yes, it's very cool, Flynn.
Yeah. And I'll spin it in my finger and try and do a cool move.
Make a sleight of hand check.
There it is. 15.
Looks pretty cool.
Ah. Put it on my hip. All right. I think everyone's done eating.
Yes.
You want to get out of here?
Nestle Valley, Westbury.
Hayfried.
Right. Let's go.
Let's go, everyone.
All right, everyone can take the benefits of a short rest if you would like. As you continue moving on south to Nestle Valley. It's a pretty straight shot at this point. Is there anything that any of you want to do before you get there?
I'd like to cast Sending, if I can do that while we're walking.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to see if I can find Kale Drumwind's tether. Grab it, twist it around my hand, pull it to my heart. Ajungis. Kale. It's Kellic. Did you make it out all right? I fear for you and your family.
We managed to pack most of our things. We're headed off to Westreach. Hopefully we can be lost in the crowds there.
I take satisfaction in this answer.
What did you find in the book? Did you pick up anything good?
Not too much.
Really? What are you doing?
This thing. How did you find this book, Flynn?
Well, it was at the library. Remember back in...
I know, but what made you pick it up?
Well, I went to look for like spells and like magic stuff, and I just came across it, and I was like, huh.
This may be one of the most important items in our collection of information here.
I'm glad I grabbed it.
It tells the tale of a city called Primordia.
Okay.
That was this central place, this convergence of all the nations, right? Center of Elbor.
Right.
Place where people lived happily, a utopia. And no nationalism, no combative allegiances, just a place where people were taken care of by the gods directly, even.
Oh.
Within it, there's a temple, a towering temple that you could go to speak to the gods personally, the way you were describing earlier, a way I've never had with Vamir. And my veneer cracks a little bit. And the wastes began when a group of red-cloaked figures appeared and savaged the temple with a great arcane eruption. A thing that sundered the temple and grew the waste as if from nothing.
Do you think it was them?
What do you mean?
Do you think it was the Red Wolf?
Red cloaks? It's a bit on the nose, but I'm straining to find another candidate.
Well, you said there was some kind of arcane magic. How'd they do that?
I don't know, but it was performed by a young woman.
Uh-huh.
They called the Storm.
Beware the coming storm?
Fallen Storm.
Maybe she's coming back? How did they stop it?
Well, it's vague, but some team of heroes was formed by the various nations of Elbor, and these people ventured into the waste, and well, this guy, and I just tap on the author's name at the front panel of the book.
Yeah.
He seems to think that they stopped the spreading of the waste.
Okay.
And that either they died in the attempt or they went their separate ways. But it strikes me that if you stop something so cataclysmic, you're gonna want some credit for it.
Uh-huh.
So I suspect they're either dead or still there, or
Maybe they turned to stone too.
it's the options for that are
Yeah.
limitless. Honestly, I don't know. I've often dreamt of a place called the High Mountain, where stories have always been told, legends of that's where the gods sit. That's their precipice where they look down on us and take care of us and all these things. And that's when they were usurped, that they were pushed off, for lack of a better word, from the High Mountain. I wonder how connected that is from this tower. If they're not, alternate translations. What's a tower if not a mountain of man-made stone? I don't know. It's just a thought, but it's very interesting.
Yeah. This is a lot of answers and then also a lot of questions.
That seems to be the way of these things.
Oh.
I do wonder if the heroes were not successful, because the seeds of the Red Wolf have failed, according to your little prophecy on that parchment of yours.
Right.
So maybe the heroes didn't succeed, but the waste also halted on its own.
Maybe they stopped to do something else and now they're coming back. Finish it? I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Were they trying to keep it going? And then what were they trying to do? Take out the whole world?
That seems to be the effort. Couldn't find anything in the book that suggested the aim of this Fallen Storm character. Well, in the book she's referred to as the Storm. So maybe there's another version of her? Fallen Storm?
Sounds pretty good to me.
So for structuring our hierarchy,
Yeah.
we have Archfey, we have the Outcast, Archfey Dalmuk, Red Wolf, Storm.
Who's the Archfey Dalmuk again?
Father of the Red Wolf,
Got it.
whose body we found in a tomb should be dead,
Right.
but maybe isn't.
Well-
I just kind of like turn my palms up to the sky. I just
I shrug
shrug.
my shoulders, yeah.
At least we're getting something put together here.
It's a start. I mean, maybe once we get to Nestle Valley, we can take a break, get some rest. And then,
We should come up with what questions we can ask the
yeah.
people we captured.
Yeah.
We need to be smart, because they are not going to be forthcoming.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm disappointed in myself for how little I was able to extract from your little tormentor.
Right. Don't beat yourself up.
Of course not.
We're doing good.
You know, I look at the dwarves that we're traveling with, and especially at the woman whose throat was cut. We're doing as well as could be expected.
Could be a lot worse.
No kidding.
And I just stroll on for a bit as we make our way.
Okay. And as you all continue your way south, the sun sets over the mountains, and just off in the distance, you can see Nestle Valley once more. So as you approach, how are you all approaching Nestle Valley? It is at this point nighttime, and seems to be pretty dark.
Yeah, I mean, just from the way we came, as we get closer, can we see if there's a commotion going on? Does it seem like, I want to know if
Are
it's
things
the,
returning to
Yeah,
business as usual?
is
or
it the cold pikes? Is that what they were
Cold
called?
pikes, yeah.
Are they, yeah, that kind of stuff. What's the vibe we're getting?
I'll have you make a perception check
Okay.
for me.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Yay!
I'm going to turn to the dwarves. Are any of you from the village here? Like, do any of you have homes here? Or are all of you from the other side of the mountain?
And you see some of them sort of look at each other. No, we're all from the other side. We're also all from Westbury.
Oh, okay. I don't know what time the tunnel goes back through, so we might need to sleep here tonight.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out what time the tunnel train thingy.
If we need to, we can.
I mean, it's better than being dead, yeah?
Definitely better than being dead.
Yeah.
That's a 12 on perception.
8 for me.
Flynn looks sort of like how you
I don't
left
see like
it.
a dragon in the sky.
No.
Great.
No.
Perfect.
Kellic, you just notice how quiet it is. In the morning you got there was a bunch of commotion, people getting to work. Now that it's nighttime, you're not seeing anyone running around like you had during the day. It just seems very quiet.
Can we make our way towards the tunnel and see if there might be any train to take?
Yes, you can. As you actually walk into Nestle Valley, you walk by the foothills that that the house that you guys had entered was on. You can see a couple of those houses. Just on the interior, you could just see a little bit of like a flicker of fire just to keep light within these houses. And you pass down the road that passes the houses, and you get to Nestle Valley proper. And all of these buildings, these machines of mining and industry are all completely silent. You do not hear anyone here. As you walk towards the entrance to the mountain where the rail car is, you pass by the massive mine that you guys had entered into. And you don't see anyone there. It seems that all of the elevators are up at their top positions. But you do see, right next to one of the elevators, a pile of about 12 bodies.
Like, what kind of bodies? Human bodies or Nothic
What kind of bodies, DM?
As you walk a little bit closer, you can see very distinctly Nothic bodies that are very much dead. Seem to be just heaped on top of one another.
Okay.
You can see several of them have like slash and stab wounds. A couple of them have been burned to a crisp.
Okay.
And a couple of them seem to like have part of their skulls dented in. But a pile of about 12 Nothic bodies.
Okay.
As you approach the actual tunnel towards the inside of the mountain, you can see the same 2 rail systems that go through. You see that one of them completely empty. The other one has a rail cart on it, very similar to the one that you had seen before with the little push lever to get it going.
Before we move on from these bodies,
Yeah.
I would like to, if nobody interrupts me, to disintegrate them.
I wouldn't do anything.
Okay.
And I'll just set to work as quickly as possible, but I don't want to send them on.
All right. You get through about 5. You get through 6. And then all of a sudden you're about halfway up one of the legs of one of them. And you can see the eye begins to twitch. And its muscles begin to twitch as it reaches up and swipes at you with its claw. I am going to just make an attack roll.
No!
As it just seems to be this frantic movement. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 hits, yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be 6 points of slashing damage.
Ah!
It seems to be about halfway disintegrated up one of its legs. Kellic, I'll give you the first move. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm just going to continue on doing my thing. Next Coco! And it's got to make a wisdom save.
Okay, wisdom save. Be an 11? That's going to be an 11.
Yeah, that fails.
Okay, how much damage is that?
2d12. It's 9 points of necrotic damage.
As the rest of it, torso, arms, everything up to the head, disintegrates into ash.
Gross.
Kellic, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Feel worse for this sucker.
Oh. Huh. That was close.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I'll stand next to you. As I move up to him and I stand next to him as he continues, I'm assuming.
And as you continue on, the rest of the bodies, easy enough. On the second to last one, you get about halfway up the chest, and you could just see the eye twitch just a little bit, but before long, the rest of the bodies have completely disintegrated into ash. And as soon as you finish, there seems to be almost a slight gust of air that comes up from the mine itself and sort of takes away these ashes and disperses them into the air.
It
But
might
with
not
that-
be nice to inhale Flynn, but
Yeah, next time I'll hold my breath.
it is a bit beautiful, though, don't you think?
Yeah, in a way.
I don't know. It's I'm taken with it.
The dust?
Aye, as opposed to stone. Stone and stars, these things, they rail against each other. The ashes,
They're free.
blow away in the wind.
Yeah.
And I'll lead us toward the rail system.
Okay. Flynn,
Yeah.
you
What's that?
hear, it sounds like someone knocking on your shield.
I'll look at my shield.
Okay. And as you look down and look on the inside is sort of this this metal that has a certain sheen to it.
Uh-huh.
And you can see it almost start to liquefy
What?
and move and warp. And all of a sudden it solidifies again. Except in the reflection, you do not see your face.
No.
You see the face of Timmy.
What?
What?
Timmy?
Hey, Flynn.
How?
Hatefree showed me how to do this. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I was just outside. There are some people looking for you.
Oh, crap.
And that's where we're going to end this episode.
What?
No! Who?
Who could it possibly be? That is where we're going to call it.
Who would be looking
there.
for Flynn?
Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see y'all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye,
nerds.
Hey, nerds, it's Ethan. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe across whatever platform you're listening on, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or even on YouTube. Hey, we've got a YouTube channel. Every week we post highlights and spotlights from the previous week. So if you are looking to get into the previous week's episode and get yourself excited for the Tuesday episode, be sure to head over and watch and listen to those. It's a great way to catch up, and we can't wait to see you all over there. Bye, nerds.